Hi, this is Joy with Obsessed with Scrapbooking, and today we're making this Thanksgiving 3D box from the Close to My Heart Artiste cartridge. So first, let's get started. Now I've cut this out at 4 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and score it. You'll notice this is a different color than obviously the first picture, and that is because it turns out to be easier for you to see how to make the box. So I wanted to show it this way, and then at the end you'll see one made up in the pattern paper. So all I'm doing here is I'm using my score pal to go ahead and score along those edges. Not hard at all here. Can't even really see the score marks, but you know, it's pretty easy to figure out what to do because we're just going to fold all those pieces in. So just going to go around. In a minute, when we start putting this together, I will have some air. First of all, I'm going to ink the edges of these leaves so you can see them. And then I'm also going to have some arrows to show you where we're going to be folding these different things. So it'll be very helpful. You'll see. You shall see. I fooled with this quite a bit to figure out how to put it together. And once I got it, I'm like, oh, this is great. So this isn't bad at all. But there's a little bit of a trick to it, like most things in life. But once you see how to do it, you'll be making these really quickly. And they're kind of cute. They'd be really fun to put like a little cookie in or something and then put that at everybody's place at Thanksgiving. That would be really cute. Okay, now I want you to take a look here, and I'm going to go through it pretty slowly, so no chance you won't be able to see. I've gone ahead and I've marked on this little arrows because that little section on each one of these, I don't even know what you'd call these spokes, these little leaf spokes, if you will, that's where we are going to be matching up each part. Okay, so let's get started. The left-hand side is always on the top. That left-hand leaf always on the top. So we're going to take the right-hand side and we're just going to match up where those two arrows are. And I'm going to hold them with my fingers because they don't hook up naturally. They're not going to stay like that, but they will shortly. Now we take this third piece and we're going to go behind the second piece. This whole thing now is behind the second piece, bring it around, and match it up to the other two arrows. And it kind of hooks in there. It takes a little fiddling with, as you'll see. Takes some fiddling with, but it will hook in there and stay. Come on, I know you're going to stay. It really does, you guys. See, yay! All right, now this fourth piece, again, I got to go behind and match it up to all those other where all those other arrows are. Okay, and I just end up going around this whole thing just in this same fashion. See? Then this fifth piece, got to go behind and hook that in there. Lift up and hook that in there. And then this sixth piece, now this gets interesting because it still has to go behind the fifth piece. See how I'm poking that out with my finger? So, and then you got to lift up some of those other leaves. And suddenly, miraculously, the whole thing's together. So it is not obvious how to do this, but this video hopefully will help you guys, save you some aggravation in trying to figure that out. And then you see that little center section makes a nice little, almost like a little pie shape. Now, a word about this, I don't know if you guys noticed there were all these holes originally. Yeah, those don't do anything and they have no purpose whatsoever. I'm really not sure why they're there, except to confuse. All right, moving on. This is the stamp set I used once I made my box with pattern paper. That was the perfect fit Thanksgiving set. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a little tag to go with that. I'm using, first of all, the ruby colored ink just on some colonial white paper, and I'm just going to stamp that in, and then I wanted to go ahead and put a contrasting ink and saying on the inside. And you guys, I voiced this over, so I'm not right here doing it. All I know is that says something about harvest. So sorry. Blah blah blah, harvest. Okay. And I used the olive ink, and I've got 1 1/4 inch circle punch. You could also cut out a circle with a Cricut. It's just really easy to punch if you happen to have some punches. And then I've got a 1 1/2 inch scallop punch that I'm just going to mount that on. And basically that's all I'm doing to make my tag. I use my Scotch HEG to stick those together. I've got a little hole punch I'm using. It's not the standard size hole punch. I think it's like the 1/4 inch one, the smaller one, but not the teeny tiny one that's like a pinprick. It's the in-between one. And then I've just got some red and white twine I'm just going to tie around. And I'm not even knotting this. I'm just making that first, you know how when you're tying your shoes, you make that first fold? That's what I'm doing. So I'm not making it too hard. But I do think this would be real cute. Maybe you could put nuts in it at Thanksgiving table or whatever else. You could make it, instead of saying, put a saying there, it could have someone's initial. And then, they would know that's our place, or you could put their name or any kind of thing like that. Anyway, I just topped this off with a button that I pre-applied a glue dot to, and then we're done. I hope this is helpful for you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and info on all the products is coming up. Take care. See you next time.